Welcome to the Expert Connect Wellness Chats. I'm Anshina Ryan, your host and founder of the Expert Connect. Joining me today is Lianne, who is the founder of Ambition Unleashed, and she'll be talking to us about a free virtual summit she's running for high-performing female leaders. Alex, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Anshu. I'm great. How about yourself?
I'm doing very well, thank you. I'm super excited that you're here today talking to us about this free virtual summit. And I have lots of questions that I want to ask you. But first of all, tell us about what is the title of the summit, first of all, and how did you come up with this idea? How were you inspired to create this summit?
So the summit's called the Productivity Secrets for the High-Performing Female Leader. And it's a virtual summit, 13 days long. And the inspiration really came from myself, who experienced a burnout just over a year ago. So it was last fall. And through that experience and really hitting that final wall, I've learned a lot and I've grown a lot over this past year. And what I learned through this experience is that a lot of it came down to sometimes the thoughts I was telling myself, which actually led me to go and become a neuro coach as well, so that I can really work with other high achieving women, work through those thoughts and try to figure out when it comes to the productivity, that's not just about trying to do more, but that why are we trying to do more? And, we really believe in the work hard, go hard kind of idea, like as high ambitious achievers. So, working through that and trying to figure out, can we kind of work through that and look at a variety of what I like to call the TLC of productivity, looking at, the time management piece, then also looking at the leadership piece, like you as a leader, and looking at decisions and things that you need to take into account, or maybe, looking at setting boundaries, looking at, some additional professional development, looking at, being empowered to say no to things that often lead us to burnout, or saying yes to too many things. And then I like to call the care piece, which is the care piece was something that I started to kind of look at several years before reaching my final burnout, because I could see some of the signs and the red flags leading up to this final kind of what I like to call that a bit of a breakthrough. However, I did go into sort of looking at looking at movement and looking at working a little bit of the mindset, but there's so many other things that come down to trying to make us be more productive. And usually we're trying to be more productive because we're trying to get more done, because we probably have so much on our plate. And it can't, realize that if I could bring in one room tons of people that had a certain expertise in a variety of different areas of productivity, perhaps I can help all those other high achieving women that are go avoid that path to burnout. Because we are ambitious, we are high achievers, we've got big goals, we want to achieve a lot in life. What if we could kind of step back a little bit, simplify it a little bit, and learn ways that we could manage our time a little bit better, be empowered to set those boundaries and say no, and also ensuring that we're taking care of ourselves along the whole path. Because if we don't put our oxygen mask on first, then we're no good to anybody. So that's kind of where it sort of came from, is that being inspired by my own experiences, and I want to help other women out there that may have been experiencing something that's similar to what I've experienced.
Yeah, no, that sounds great. And I really resonate with that, because and especially right now during this pandemic, data tells us that women are more stressed out because we have put so much on our plate. Mm-hmm. We're wearing so many different hats. We're teachers, we're moms, obviously, all the time, but we have all of a sudden acquired these new roles in addition to what we already have. So such a great timing for you to be able to bring this summit to us. And I love the idea that A, it's virtual, and B, it's free. So people who have never attended a virtual summit, talk to us a little bit about how it's going to work.
Awesome. Well, it's really interesting. I love this platform. So all of the interviews have been pre-recorded. And so how it's going to work, as of the first day of the summit, which is November 12th, each morning for 13 days, you will receive an email in your inbox at 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And in that email will contain the 2 or 3 interviews that you will have a day. So I have a total of 36 speakers, so a span of 2 to 3 speakers a day. And you will have access to those interviews for 24 hours. At the end of each day, I'm going to go live in our Facebook community, and I'll talk about that in a second. And I'm going to do a bit of a recap. And I also have some of the speakers who are actually going to come on live and do live Q&A in that community. And why Facebook community is that I found that through my journey, I felt very alone. I didn't realize that there were so many other high achievers out there that experienced what I experienced until I actually started interviewing all of these speakers that I got to know. And it was so inspiring to, in a way, to feel that you weren't alone on this journey, and that especially in times like today, that we're not the only ones that are experiencing these feelings or feeling this guilt. I think a lot of it, as high achieving women, we feel a lot of guilt because we do have so many different roles that we do play, and we are also trying to be really successful. We find ourselves in these leadership positions because we do have big goals and big dreams and big visions, and we want to make that happen. So trying to balance everything and really trying to head there, does play a lot on ourselves. So that's what I love about putting this community together, is now we're also going to be a community full of high achieving women that are kind of having the same kind of goals, where we want to get the most out of life. And getting to have the speakers come in and do some live Q&As, I think, just adds to it. And then the recap, and there'll be some prizes and contests just to really amp it up, because we're not able to be at a conference together. So this is a way to kind of bring everybody virtually together in one common area that get to experience the conference or the summit together.
Right. So mainly Facebook Live would be the channel that people would be able to attend the summit.
So the emails, everybody that registers gets the emails, and then everyone's invited to attend or join the Facebook community, in addition to receive those daily emails.
Perfect.
So that's what that looks like. And so it's important to know that those interviews are only live for 24 hours. After that 24 hours, then the next few interviews pop up. So you have 24 hours to watch the interviews for each day of the week. So there's a schedule set up for the 13 days.
So just a quick follow-up question then. So after 24 hours, if somebody wants to then go in and watch an interview or whatever, what does that look like then?
I put together a all access, call it a bundle, so an all access pass. And what that gives you is lifetime access to all of those video recordings. What I love about it is also has MP3s of all of those videos. So if you wanted to download them and listen to them on the go, kind of like a podcast, you are able to then download all those MP3s. And I put together a summit workbook, because there's a lot of information, there's a lot of tips and tricks in there to really help you really reach your full potential while avoiding burnout. And so that workbook is a place to be able to take all the notes and put all those tips and tricks in one place for you.
That is brilliant. Yes, with 36 speakers, I mean, there has to be amazing information they share, and such a great way for you to be able to bundle that up. That is amazing. And Alex, if you don't mind, would you be able to give us a sneak preview into the content of what these amazing speakers will be sharing in the summit?
Yes. Well, I'm seriously thrilled and excited. I've met some amazing people through this process, and just having them come and share a bit of their journey and then the things that they've learned along the way. So each speaker will come and share a topic that they've, kind of their expertise in. And then they also share a takeaway, like something that they wish that they knew when they had started on their journey, which is like a huge gold nugget I find that they shared. And then they also share one action step. So at the end of it, you'll have 36 action steps to take as well. And how I sort of organize the way that it's going to roll out with the summit is that we kind of start with that mindset piece. So we've got a lot of that are talking a bit about mindset, looking at fear, looking at the whole empowerment piece as a female. Then we go into the sort of self-care piece and looking at, creating a morning routine, setting boundaries, looking at delegation. How do you delegate? And how do you, so that you can really play in your zone of genius, how can you still make sure that all the other tasks around you get done? Then we really dive into, the time management piece, time blocking, how to stay productive while you're traveling, how to balance working from home. How do you balance being a mom and still having the business? For example, if you're a business owner, have your business move forward while you're still, helping your kids homeschool. And then we have, some keynote speakers that have presented TED Talks. So they've come in and kind of given a little bit of that talk, and also diving into the wellness piece. So looking at getting your body to move, looking at nutrition, how do you really fit all this in when you're, so busy and always on the go? And so really trying to help you take a step back and look at all your priorities in order, to be able to put in together a schedule or calendar that you can really, win at life and really get everything that you want to accomplished.
That is fantastic. So exciting to hear that some of the things that you talked about, self-care, time management, these are things that are so important. And I think we we hear them so much on a daily basis that self-care is important, time management is important, yet we don't we're not able to incorporate these practices in our daily lives because of so many other outside forces, I guess, not acting in our favor in that moment in time or whatever it may be. So I think it is amazing that this summit truly sounds that it's going to be so valuable with all these golden nuggets that these amazing experts are going to come in and share. So also tell us and our audiences a little bit about how are we able to go in and register for the summit then?
Wonderful. So you can go to productivity secrets with an S summit.com. So productivity secrets with an S summit.com. So productivitysecretsummit.com. Or you can go to my Instagram, which is alex.lianne.carter. And there is a link in my bio there to get your ticket. So yeah, doors are open and we are just so excited to be able to meet everybody already that's joined the Facebook community that wants to be a part of this summit. And coming back down to Anshu, what you just said, like that's why I really like to call it the TLC of productivity, right? The idea of high achievers is we're looking at tips and tricks for productivity to be able to get more done in our time. At the same time, that whole self-care piece is so important to our productivity. And a lot of times that's what kind of hinders a lot. So if we can kind of really and I know we really try to refrain from the word of balance, right? Because that whole, it's this myth there's a myth behind the work-life balance kind of piece. But if you're looking at yourself holistically, you want to ensure that, all the buckets of life are full. And that's what a lot of the speakers talk about as well, right? Like if your glass is empty, right? How do you keep on going? And I want to help ensure that all those high achieving women out there is that we keep our glasses full so that we can really, maximize our brilliance and what we want to make happen with our lives.
I like using the word work-life integration as opposed to balance, because you can never find balance, I feel like. So that integration, I think the word integration, I think is really cool. And I'm so excited about the summit starting on November 12th. I will absolutely go in and register myself to be able to hear to these amazing speakers. And also, Alex, you are the founder, like I said, of Ambition Unleashed. How will our viewers be able to go and find you on Ambition Unleashed?
So I can also be found at ambitionunleashed.com.
Awesome. That is fantastic. Well, everybody, November 12th is the date, and there will be 36 amazing speakers. So please tune in to listen to this. Alex, thank you once again so much for joining us and sharing some great insights. And everybody, stay tuned for more episodes. Thank you, everyone, and stay safe.
Thank you, everybody. Nice meeting you.